Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the Horowitz, NIDCHEI YISRAEL. And he said yesterday that one of the main reasons why people falter here, particularly when they were far away from the homeland and they were going around America and other places and they're losing their connection to Yiddishkeit, is simply because of their ignorance, their lack of knowledge of what the Torah really wants of a person. Afilu la'nizharim milasais malacha b'yom Shabbos, even those people that are careful not to do any malacha, any work on Shabbos. Gam ken yesh ta'usim la'arbim, and many of them make the following mistake. She'oisim melacha meshechashech, as soon as it gets dark in the sky, they start working again. U'maisifim mikodesh ala chayil b'chashvam, and they think this concept that we're supposed to add on from Kodesh, from the weekday to the Chol, which means extend your Shabbos beyond the time of Shabbos, and accept Shabbos upon yourself earlier than is actually Shabbos. It's just a chumrah, it's just a mere stringency, l'kadesh es Shabbos b'shkias hachama, that you should take Shabbos on with the sunset. But really, if you want to extend your work on Friday, or you want to start working earlier on Motzei Shabbos, Saturday night, you're allowed to. But you're not. And many people make a mistake that they think you can carry things in the public domain from a private to a public on Shabbos. They say, I can carry my handkerchief, my tissues in my pocket, my keys. How am I supposed to get into my house if I don't carry my keys? Even in a public domain. Since I need it. And they think like this about many things. Says the Chavetz Chaim, people, they justify for themselves why they would be Mechal Shabbos, claiming that it's the proper thing for them to do, when in fact it's not. And there's many mistakes that people make when it comes to arayis, illicit relations. Listen to this, says the Chavetz Chaim. They think, if I live in a place where there's no mikveh, which means there's nowhere that my wife is able to go to purify herself every month after her menstrual cycle, which the Torah says you have to do, then a woman is going to be permitted to her husband even if she didn't go to the mikveh. She'll take a bath, she'll take a shower, she'll do nothing at all. What can we do? We live in a place where no mikveh exists. So then obviously HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want us to be separate from each other for such a long time. Must mean that he wants us, that we should be together. Now there is a Ma'aseh, Moshe Feinstein's Zatzal, that from between his youngest son, Reb Dovid Feinstein, and the child that was before that, there's like a difference of something like 6 or 8 years. And Reb Dovid Feinstein said, do you know why there's such an age gap between us? Because my father was the Rav in a certain town at that time in Europe, and the status of the mikveh he held was below par. It was below his standards. He allowed it for the people of the Kehillah. However, for him, he held that it was below the standard of what a mikveh was supposed to be. And therefore, Rav Moshe's wife did not go to the mikveh for all of those 6 or 8 years that they were living in that town. And therefore, they had no children, because if there's no mikveh, that means that a husband and a wife cannot be intimate with each other. And therefore, says the Chavetz Chaim, just because you live in a place where no mikveh is around doesn't mean that you can be with each other. That just means you have to go Moser Nefesh to find one. Furthermore, he writes, what if you live in a place where there's no shoichet, there's no one to slaughter your animals, ubaydik, and check to make sure that they're kosher? They think they can eat anything they want. They'll eat an animal that wasn't killed in the right way. They make many mistakes in the Yisurim of the Torah. Because you live in some far-flung little city over there, so therefore you can eat whatever meat you want? Farmer John's? No. Says the Chavetz Chaim, of course not. The Torah is the Torah. Woe to the eyes that have seen this. And woe to the ears who have heard such ignorance. And the truth is, Everything is because they're lacking the full knowledge of Torah. Like we mentioned above. Says the Chavetz Chaim, you're on a slippery slope. You're going down a dangerous path. When you are an ignorant fool and you don't know what the Torah says, you will end up making up your own rules and your own excuses and your own heterim, your own permissibilities to transgress what it says in the Torah. And therefore, a person really has to know what it says in Torah, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from us, so that we will be strong in places where other people, unfortunately, might get weak. Have a wonderful day.